Parashat Korach, the famous parasha, where we can I get this thing for the glasses? Where we read about the machloket of Korach and his buddies, complaining about everything. It's a tremendous parasha, I have to tell you. A tremendous limud that we can get here about really who you are and realizing really who you are. What are your chances to succeed in life or not to succeed in life? Basically the parasha of what you're made of. But I hear that, right? Okay. So Korach comes and claims against Moshe. There's a tremendous injustice in the fact that only him, Moshe, Aharon, and the Kohanim were rewarded with that position of what is so-called Meshartei Hashem, servants of God. And why didn't all Bnei Israel rewarded in that? Because after all, as he says, Kol ha'edah kedoshim. Everybody is holy. These arguments that he's going to bring here, hopefully Be'ezrat Hashem will be able to see it. It's a tremendous thing to understand really also how to deal with people who are religious and not religious and claims and really internalize what I'm trying to tell you. And that claim on first glimpse seems very reasonable, seems very logical. And Korach claims that, has a claim that, if we're going to look at his claim with our, how should I say, modern, but, today's day and age perspective, as something that is very democratic and just. Today we have to have this thing of everybody equal. By the way, nobody's ever equal. Many times that claim that everybody is equal and because of that we all have to do this is usually some kind of a claim that a person wants to propel himself to a position to like people. You want example, look around you, any local politician, left or right, and you'll see that it's the same thing. And the claim is why that one group will have preferences over other groups in Am Yisrael. I mean, after all, we're all in Har Sinai, and they were all called the chosen people. You want to turn this off, you can turn it off. And that's why everybody is equal to one another. And this is his claim that there is a quote unquote a superior group is really unjust. And I mean, from an objective point of view, is really unjust and unfair and is not right. So I'm going to tell you something that I find in a book that I really like to read a lot. I would not recommend you to read it, however, I read it a lot. It is a book of, I think, like 5 years of Parashiot HaShavua collected by a person named Yeshayahu Leibowitz. And on his book on this parasha, he finds a certain reasoning in the proximity of the parashiot that we have, and that is very important what he finds there. There maybe can shed some light, maybe a different light, on why Korach was mistaken. So in last week's parasha, Parashat Shalach, 4 psukim before those words of Moshe to Aharon, when he says, Rav lachem ki kol ha'edah, kulam kedoshim, uvetocham Hashem, u'modua titnas'u al kal Hashem. Pay attention, kol ha'edah, kulam kedoshim. Everybody is holy. We found the mitzvah, last week's parasha, the mitzvah of Parashat Sasret, and where HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself reasons with Moshe the importance of mitzvah tzitzit, and he says the reason is למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים le'Elohechem, vehitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Korach says, kol ha'ida kulam kedoshim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, vehitem kedoshim. Which, I mean, are very similar in a way, statements or expressions, excuse me, that in the first glimpse, they look identical. There may be the difference between them is semantic, like some kind of like, grammar. However, if you're going to look very carefully inside, you would see a tremendous difference between the two. And that was probably the biggest mistake that Korach made. That proximity of the two parashiyot is not accidental, and it really comes to bring about two different approaches who are completely opposing to one another to the essence of what is called kedusha, what is called holiness. Okay? And maybe there will be some people who would not like what I have to say. Won't be the first time. Here, the chassid is laughing over there. He knows what I'm saying. We kind of spoke a little bit about it this week. However, it won't be the first time. Most likely it won't be the last time. I hope it's not going to be the last time. Korach claims, Kol ha'ida kulam kedoshim. The whole congregation, everybody is holy. In other words, the kedusha, the holiness, is implanted within them, within Am Yisrael, from the fact that Hashem is among them, so therefore they are holy. Am Yisrael was chosen by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be Am Sgula, to be a unique nation. Well, if we're going to take the expression by the way of Am Sgula, it always refers to in the Torah as a condition that is going to be fulfilled in a condition that we're going to do the mitzvot, of course, right? So you see from here, Am Sgula is only when you do the mitzvot. Don't think that there's anything special about you if you're not doing any mitzvot. And we're going to talk about, the difference that we have when people, what really is holy, what people think is holy, and really what is your relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And many people are completely wrong about what they think is their relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Completely wrong. And, like for example, it says, Ve'ata im shamoa tishmeu bekoli. If you would listen to what I tell you, shamoa tishmeu, I mean, really pay careful attention. Always, every time when we have a double expression, shamoa tishmeu, abet, and so on and so forth, means that you have to go down to the core, to the bottom of things. Really, like, carefully listen to what I said to you. Ushmartem et briti, and you guarded my covenant. Then, vehitem li sgula michol ha'amim. That's in Sefer Shmot. It is a condition. Therefore, Am Yisrael is kadosh according to him, without any other conditions. Korach sees Am Yisrael holy because in Har Sinai when they received the Torah, and Am Yisrael was chosen to be the one, means there's something special about them. They got extra merit about that. That was given them, the holiness was given them just because they were chosen. And there's a continuation to this line that he's taken in his words, in terms of kehuna, being a priest as everybody is. Korach also sees as a extra merit that was given only to a small group of people, not as a religious obligation that was given over Bnei Levi. It's a very fundamental point to understand. And therefore, if everybody is holy, why wouldn't it be that everybody else should merit to become priests as well? It's very simple. What is quite arrogant on behalf of Korach, on the other hand, the Torah does not reward Am Israel with the title holy, but rather the Torah says, Vehitem kedoshim. In other words, you should become holy. In other words, you need to do something for it. It demands from Am Israel to be holy. The kedusha here is not something that, or holiness is not something that you're born with. It's something that you work for. Receiving the Torah in Har Sinai does not reward us automatically with the title holy. Only after a person does whatever he was expected to do, fulfills everything was demanded on him to do, as a person that accepts that, by, of course, shomer Torah mitzvot, straightforward, no zigzags. After a person receives upon himself the responsibility to fix himself, and after to fix himself also to fix the people around him, his environment, only then he can reach a level that he is going to be separated from his society and so on and so forth, and he's measured in his closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by the way, to be holy. Only then you'll become Kadosh. Being holy, people think that, you know what? Me and God, I speak to him whenever. I mean, what do you think? God is your friend? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is your friend? I'm going to tell him, yo, Kadosh Baruch Hu, what's up, man? How you doing? How's everything? You think HaKadosh Baruch Hu is your friend? He's your king. He's your master. You don't talk to him the way you that's okay, I don't have to keep mitzvot. Me and him, we're tight. That's a word of an imbecile. You have to work very hard. It has to be important to you. You have to invest into that. Your measure as holy by how close you are to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not depend on your perspective of how tight you are with God, but rather how dedicated you are to do what He asks you to do, what is expected of you to do, and then some more. Not like everybody else thinks. It's something you gotta take into heart, Rabotai. You gotta take this into heart. You think you can cheat the Kadosh Baruch Hu? You're not cheating anybody by yourself. Anybody by yourself. You are expected to grow a beard, by the way. Guys, stop shaving your beards. You are expected to do exactly what you asked, and then more. And then more. It is amazing to me that if you want to succeed in work, right, in your workplace, there will not be a doubt in you that that's what you have to do. You have to invest a little bit more, to put 110, 120. Because again, if everybody does 100%, there's no difference between you and everybody else. If you really want to succeed, you have to put extra. That is, if I'll talk to you about work, you'll understand, not a problem. You would agree with me, not a problem. When it comes to keep Torah mitzvot, that's, we have special relationship. You have nothing. Remember that. There's nothing special about you because you are you. You're being measured by how special you are, but how much are you willing to dedicate your whole entire being to the words of God. You're not doing HaKadosh Baruch Hu a favor. He's doing you a favor. And you're going to be thankful. Don't you ever forget that. Ever. You're not doing HaKadosh Baruch Hu a favor by keeping Shabbat or putting tefillin or doing mitzvot or doing whatever it is. That's a zchut that was given to you. That's a gift that was given to you. Not an obligation that you pick and choose whatever you want. You are obligated to do so. With no questions asked. You're expected to do that. As a gift, but you're expected to do it. And so is any other mitzvah in the Torah, including Divrei Chachamim. If Chachamim tell you have to be Shomer Negiah, you have to be Shomer Negiah. You can zigzag, walk between the jobs. By the way, to all of you guys who, of course, tzaddikim atem, but you know people, can give me this thing again. To all these people that you know that are dating and so on and so forth, God forbid not to be Shomer Negiah, because then your relationship will go down the drain sooner or later. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. If you're going to go to Israel on a shuk, on a market, you're going to start feeling all the vegetables and fruit. The guy's going to yell at you. You want something, you want to feel it, you want to touch it, no problem. Buy it first. You learn Shomer Negiah over there. Try to apply it to life. Okay? Now, if you're going to look quickly in places where the Torah talks about the word kadosh, or the expression kadosh, in regards to Am Yisrael, we could see that in all these places, it is not given to you as a natural thing, is to take it for granted, but rather as almost a demand in a future tense, that it's not going to be fulfilled or achieved until you're going to do that condition that was given. For example, it says in Shemot Chavbet, V'anshe Kodesh tihiyun li. You're going to be to me. V'atem tihiyu li mamlechet kohanim ve'goyim kadosh. And you will become to me. V'yitem li kadoshim ki kadosh ani. And many, many other places. In Sefer Dvarim, when it says in Lashon Hoveh, in the present tense, it says, Ki am kadosh ata leHashem Elokecha. That is said not as a given thing, but rather as a reason why we have to do the mitzvot, why we have to remove ourselves from idol worshiping or anything that is foreign to the Torah. You have to remove yourself from all these things because you are holy to me. We have to remember that. It's a reasoning for the commandment for you to keep mitzvot. So therefore we have to say that it's machloket between Moshe and Korach is not necessarily just an individual isolated machloket, but also represents a complete wrong approach in regards to who is and what is Am Yisrael. Because if we're going to claim that Am Yisrael is holy just because he is Am Yisrael, because his natural merit, that would completely empty from any kind of meaning anything that we do. I don't have to do anything. Why do I have to keep Shabbat? Why do I have to keep Yom Kippur? Why do I have to do this? I'm kadosh as it is. I'm holy. I don't have to do anything. I was born holy. Become holy is an effort you have to put in. So don't think, oh, I'm holy, I can do it. Okay? Now, the call of Korach is very interesting because it calls a person to become passive. You don't have to do anything. Become passive. You're holy. You don't have to work. You don't have to assume any responsibility. Right? We don't like responsibility, and especially a responsibility and obligation to fix ourselves, to fix our society. He doesn't accept upon himself the obligation, the tremendous obligation that he has in this world to act in a certain way, to behave in a certain way, to do things in a certain way. But it's just only his rewards. Magia li, I deserve it. A sense of entitlement is the complete opposite of what Moshe. A sense of entitlement, just because I deserve it. That's the approach of Korach. And then are all the people that develop a sense of entitlement, and they said, I deserve it. Those are the people who like to skim the system, who deserve it, right? I came to shul. Yeah, I drove to shul. Yes, I drove to shul. Yes, I came with my goya. She's waiting for me in the car. But I need to say Kaddish. So because of that, you got to give me Kaddish. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That comes from Korach. And Chaz v'Shalom, there will be any rabbis who will encourage the people to be passive. in that way. A sense of entitlement is something that you should root from yourself. That's maybe the core of your downfall in life. You are entitled for nothing. And everything that you have, you need to earn. That will make you successful. If you have this attitude that you want something, you get it with hard work, not in the sense, Magia li, give it to me, then you'll be successful. You'll get somewhere. It doesn't make a difference how much I have to work for it. I want it, I'll work for it. But I deserve it? You deserve nothing. Maybe it'd be the best thing for you ever to realize that. Right? His father has a business, right? The son thinks automatically he's going to go into his father's business because he's entitled. Right? It's my father's business, my business. It ain't your business, it's your father's business. And you're not entitled for it. And if your father wants to sell it, and then, lekol hamarbeh b'mechir, that's his choice, it's not your choice. You want an easy life. That's not your business. The best thing a father could do, if he has a business like this, is not to let his son in his business. A father that doesn't like his son will do that. Why? Because why doesn't he like his son? He likes himself. He wants some cheap labor. But he doesn't understand that by doing so, he is teaching his kid to be ungrateful, to be lazy, and to be entitled. That's the worst thing you can do. That's why I'm also against any kind of government entitlement programs. Why? Because it keeps people prisoned, enslaved. You don't give them any incentive to get up and do something with themselves, to change, to reach, to achieve. My father, alav shalom, said, you're better off with a penny that you work hard to get than $100 that somebody give you for doing nothing. That penny will take you further. So if you have a business and your daddy doesn't let you to work in the business and you go do your own thing, you should kiss your father every time you see him. Don't forget that. So that sense of entitlement is horrible. That's why he can come and claim. That's his claim. But because he's a part of what we call Kahal Kadosh, because I'm a part of this Am Sgula, I'm entitled to get what I want without giving anything in return. Because that natural zchut that I have to be a Jew, I'm entitled to whatever I want. Not only I'm entitled, I'm exempt also from any real action that will do to pursue and advance good in the world. And entitlement programs create people poverty. They don't make people good. Our Torah does not tell us, Kedoshim atem, you are holy. The Torah does not say, because we are descendants of the Jewish nation, we merit this thing. The contrary, as Jews, we accepted upon ourselves an obligation, a tremendous obligation to fix, again, as we said, ourselves, to try to fix what's wrong with society, to cry against injustice, that is true injustice. No, it's just I have allergies or something. And not to say, okay, that's what it is, I'm just going to get it because I am. We're not allowed to say to ourselves, Kedoshim anachnu, we are holy, but rather to see it as a task, as a desire, some goal in life, always to come close to an ideal that is called Kedusha, holiness. That's an ideal that we have to reach. And already said in Masechet Avot, and he says, Lo alecha melacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorim livtel mimena. You are not, it's not up to you to finish, but you are also, it's not up to you not to do something. You have to do it. You have to work on it. You have to labor on it. Nobody's expecting you to finish, but you have to strive. And you're not allowed to sit there and just says, okay, that's it, I'm done. And this is the biggest difference between Moshe Rabbeinu between Moshe Rabbeinu and Korach. The biggest difference between Moshe Rabbeinu and Korach. Moshe Rabbeinu and Korach represents two different conducts in the world. One gives and the other one always takes. Moshe Rabbeinu was a leader that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that God himself chose. He himself did not want this job. He didn't want the job. On the contrary, he even asked more. He says to him, Shlach na beyad tishlach, please let me go, I don't want this job. Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu forced him to take this job. The reason why Moshe did not want it, it wasn't because he didn't want challenges. On the contrary, right? He could have had it good in the house of Paro. Batya over there. He could have eaten like grapes with like girls going like this all day long to him. Like this. Walk like an Egyptian all day long, wearing skirts. The whole look like whatever. Yeah. He didn't want this. He always went outside. He never thought about himself. At the beginning of his life, right, you could see right away that he's going to help his people. He wanted to connect. He could have disowned his people, but he wanted to see how they feel. What's wrong with them? How can I help them? He stands for the weak. He stands for the oppressed. Even if it comes to put his life in danger. And he works on himself all the time, throughout his life, until he reaches the level that is called Eved Hashem, a servant of God. While Moshe was doing that, taking care of the Jewish people, see how much they suffer, taking it to heart and doing what he's doing, what did Korach do? This bright light, what did he do? While his people were crying out from slavery, he's going to look for a job at Paro's house. Yeah, that's what the Medrash tells us. It says במידרש רבה, י"ח ט"ו, it says, Korach היה ממונה לביתו של פרעה. He was the treasurer. והיו בידיו מפתחות האוצרות שלו. And he had the key to the treasury of Paro. And later on, when they came to Mitzrayim, while Moshe Rabbeinu is looking for the bones of Yosef, to fulfill that tzava'ah, the will of Yosef, ve'elitem et atzmotayim mizeh, please don't leave me buried here. So Moshe doesn't think about it. I'm the king, I'm the leader here. You guys over there, go look for the bones of Yosef. He said, no, I'm the leader, I need to do it. Their obligation is on me. He goes, looks for the treasures of Moshe. What does Korach do? Right? At the same time, he's looking also for Yosef, but he's looking for something else. He's looking for Yosef's treasures. Right? And it says in Masechet Sanhedrin in Daf Kuf Yud Amud Aleph, Shalosh matmoniyot itmin Yosef b'Mitzrayim, achat nitgalta leKorach. He had 3 treasures in Egypt. One Korach found. While Moshe is looking for Ma'asim Tovim and helping the people, Korach is looking for money and gold. Why? Because Korach was a person, when we say ish lekicha, always taking. Give me. Why? Because the pasuk says, "Vayikach Korach." He took. All his wealth did not come from his hard work. All his wealth came from other people's money. And because he was a person, ish lekicha, all the money that he had is not enough. And now he says, I have the money, I want the honey, I want kavod as well. And without even being asked, he says, okay, I want to be the leader. Excuse me, who asked you? You're not the HaKadosh Baruch Hu asked Moshe to become the leader. Everybody knew it. You asked to be the leader? Look what you're doing here. Nobody asked you. No. Why? Because in his desire to get all the kavod and all the honor, he was willing to overthrow everybody that he thought that might stand in his way, even if it was Moshe and Aaron. And to do so, what does he do? He uses the money that he got from Yosef, right? Mm-hmm. That is not his. It really belongs to the tzibur. It's not his. As Yonatan ben Uziel says, "Hikil aleim Korach et kol ha'eda lefetach Ohel Moed u'mashach otam be'oshro." Guys, you wanna come with me? I'll give you a golden coin. I'll give you a gold coin. I'll give you a gold coin. Just come with me. Enjoy them. What's this AC is on now?
It's hot over here.
It's hot, man. Why'd you put it on heat? It's like in Mitzrayim.
It's hot.
I'm dying here. Right? Moshe and Aaron, what did Moshe and Aaron did at the time? If you look at Masechet Eruvim, Daf Nud Dalet Amud Bet, Moshe and Aaron were marbitzei Torah. And they were the educators of the generation. But Korach, in order to take Srara, he's even willing to affect the most important thing for money and kavod. He's willing to affect even the Talmud Torah of Rabim. And it says, and the education, of course, of the generation. Moshe, not only that, he doesn't care. Because what we learn about when we have Eldad and Meidad, right? He says, I don't care, let everybody be a prophet. Alavai. Right? But he's even more than that, he's willing to give up his Olam Haba for Am Yisrael. Right? He says, Ve'im ein, macheni na misifrecha, please erase me from your book. I don't care about me, I care about Am Yisrael. Now, that is a tremendous leader. That's what a leader should be. That's what a leader should be. And I'm going to ask you a question. What kind of a person are you? Are you from the camp of Moshe or your camp of Korach? Are you looking to get freebies all the time? Or are you willing to give? Are you willing to give from yourself or are you looking to get from others? Do you understand now why he says Soneh matanot tichyeh? Because life of a person that always wants to take is no life. Because he always feels empty. A person that gives always feels fulfilled. I have to give, take. It's a tremendous thing. It's tremendous. The Natziv, in his Haskama to the Sefer Ahavat Chesed of the Chafetz Chaim, explains that since the time of Cain veHevel, humanity has been divided to givers or takers. Cain was a farmer. Asak ba'avodat adama. Ufirnes mimena et Hevel achiv. He was Mefarnes, his brother Hevel. Asher lo haya oved adama. He didn't work. That's what the Natziv says. In his Perush or Ha'amek Davar, which is a fantastic Perush, and I'm quoting, Achar sheKain haya muchshar beyoter la'avodat ha'adama, since Cain was so talented in farming, haya maspik avodato gam b'shvil achiv. It was enough even to give his brother. Ari, let's just see it. Come here. Cain gives, Hevel takes. Taking so much is negative, not only in the life of the individual, not only the life of the individual, but even more so when a person becomes or moves into a position of power. Whether it's a congregation, or anything that have to deal with public and so on and so forth. Somebody recently got angry at me because I said something against doctors. That's nothing personal about doctors. It's against attitudes of people, and for that matter, it's not necessarily doctors. It's doctors and rabbis and anybody that deals with the people and somehow being affected with the God syndrome. Anybody that deals with people, and not to take from anybody's hard work, anybody that deals with people should have the attitude of, I am a servant of the public, and therefore their time is important, and I learned for the people. I didn't learn for my title, I learned for the people, and everything that I went through was so I could serve the people. So the more you go out and with that, for whatever reason, you see people have less and less time for the people. The higher you climb in the ladder, the less accessible those people are. And again, it doesn't make a difference if you're a chief rabbi, or you are a chief resident, or doctor, or professor, or whatever. It should be the other way around. Because the more people, if the higher you are, the more accessible you'll be to people, the more you'll be able to influence the people. When you are there on top, you can't influence anybody. And you really see from there's some superhuman rabbis have time for every person that comes, and really their life is not life because everybody 24/7, people are knocking on the doors. And yet there are people you can't even talk to. I have a doctor. It doesn't make a difference when it is. If I'll text him, he'll answer me within an hour. It doesn't make a difference if, it's a holiday or he's in the other, he goes all over the world, in the other side of the world. And yeah, there's some doctors you call and, you have to have like a SWAT team, to get an answer from them. Right? So it doesn't make a difference. Again, if you're a rabbi or doctor or you are a professor of college or, college professor or whatever you are. It's the attitude. You need to examine yourself all the time. And I'm asking you, what are you? Are you givers or takers? So a person like this, he has to be that he deals with people or becomes an ish tzibur or a leader, right? If he becomes like that, an attitude of like a Korach, that attitude is very, very harmful and causes a lot of damage. Why? Because at that point he uses, in a bad way, takes advantage the authority that he has in his hands. Like many politicians or leaders of countries. All over the world, there are very few leaders who really saw themselves as servants of the people. Rather, they saw the people, listen, the people that vote for me. I mean, which is always a paradox, right? Most of these people think everybody, all the people that voted for them are a bunch of idiots. You guys cannot make a decision. I'll make a decision. I'm the president. I'm the senator. But again, if there were such idiots, how can they voted for you, right? So you have to be careful not to abuse that authority that was given to you to actually serve the people. And that's what the Netziv says. According to that, that's what the Torah says. Ma Hashem Elokecha shoel mi'imach. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu asking from you? What is he asking? What is he asking from you? Ki im li'ira et Hashem, to be a person Yerei Shamayim. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu asking from you. That command to have Yirat Shamayim, according to the Netziv, is directed to the people who are in the top, to the servants of the people, who's supposed to be servants of the people. From them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not ask from them ahava and dvekut, love and dedication. He doesn't even ask them. He doesn't even ask him to do mitzvot aseh, according to the Netziv. He asks him just to have yirat shamayim. Which is a mind-boggling statement, but it's amazing. Ki im li'ira et Hashem Elokecha. He doesn't say lishmor et mitzvotav ve'lasotam le'ava. He doesn't say to be yirei shamayim. And the Netziv says that the reason for that, and I'm quoting Basher Mishehu Rosh, whoever is on top, of a congregation or a group of people, whatever you have it, and he deals with tzarchei tzibur, this with the public, might come to benefit himself and to act for his honor by the effort of other people, and to really be kind to those who kiss up to, the chanfanim. On the contrary, whoever it might a little bit affect his kavod, he's going to close his eyes when he's suffering. He's not going to look to help him. And even if he can, that's what the Netziv says, he might actually harm him. Kick him when they're down. People like this should not be leaders. According to the Netziv, a public figure is being tested or judged not only on the action that he does or in the Torah that he teaches people, but he's also being judged on how does he interact with the people that are not his yes men and those who do not kiss up to him. Is it because of that he's going to give him the short end of the stick? That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu is asking a leader to have Yirat Shamayim. And I'm quoting, ובכל שעה עליו לידע כי גבוה מעל גבוה. A person who is a servant of the public should remember all the time that he's not the boss. There's somebody on top of him. And that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mishehu man'ig v'rosh, a person who is a leader, always has to think all the time and measure and examine his Yirat Shamayim, and you always have to think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that knows exactly what's in the heart of everyone. Even David HaMelech, the Netziv writes, was afraid of stumbling on that. And it says, "Ve're'eh im derech utzav bi v'nacheni b'derech olam." In other words, if I'm going to stumble and fail in going after people shelo kadin, not according to the din, right? It's a mistake that I could not fix, and even tshuva is not going to be able to overcome that. That's what David HaMelech says. So we have to know and we have to remember, and we almost are on time, we have to know, we have to remember that even if forever we're not going to be able to reach this level of Kedusha, that we fulfill the requirement to be, without a doubt, to become a holy person, as we said before, it doesn't mean that you are exempt from trying. You have to try all the time. Of course, you should not give up. You should not raise your hands and say, I can't do it, or give up the opportunity of the dream to be that. And without a doubt, all the time, measures your actions in the eyes of the Torah, in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't lie, because everybody knows that you're lying beside yourself. The emperor's new clothes. I think is fantastic. I love this story, the emperor's new clothes, and it's true for so many times, for so many different things. But again, the difference between Korach and Moshe Rabbeinu is in that, knowing that there's only those who give, and there are those who take. You have to understand that the one who always gives is imitating HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu always gives, always gives. So only a person who always gives has a real chance to become holy. A person that always looks to get, what can I get from you? I'm sorry, I charge I don't know, X amount of dollars. You can't pay, I'm sorry, I can't come. You don't have money, I'm sorry, you can't live with me. A person like this could never become holy. Could never become holy. That's why you should always give. My father Alav Shalom says, always be from the sides who gives. Who gives. And the only thing that you should be taken from is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Should be the only one who's giving to you. Because it says, שלא נצטרך לידי מתנת בשר ודם, ולא לידי הלוואתם, אלא מידך הפתוחה, and so on and so forth. Why is it so bad to receive from people? If he wants to give me, why should I take it? Because you're going to get used to it. And then you'll become a leech. And that could not be the path of becoming holy. You have to work hard on it. You have to examine yourself all the time. How much are you looking forward? You want to know how close you are to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? You, not him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu to you. You to him. Look, examine yourself. How much are you looking forward? For example, we're going to daven in 6 minutes. And not because you're looking forward to daven in 6 minutes so I can shut up. Right? But how much are you looking forward to daven because you can speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How much are you looking forward to do any other mitzvah? How much are you looking forward to be mekayem sasani al imratecha kemotzei shalal rav? How much are you looking to learn Torah like you just found a case of a whole case of gold and diamonds and treasures? Or are you looking to run out of here? Are you looking for shortcuts? To just get away with this? Forget about it. I just finished davening. I have to daven, but it's just a nuisance for me. Chaz v'shalom. Answer it to yourself and you see how close you are, how far you are from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Closest to HaKadosh Baruch Hu starts first of all with your attitude. Will be determined, by your attitude. And especially when you're going to people, you forget really who is doing that. For example, let's say, I go, Ari is a millionaire, right? Oh, Ari, how are you? Right? Josh is not someone, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have time for you now. How are you? How's you? You forgot 1 second? Why are you praying to him? Pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help you? Make your case with him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tishma. I have so many people. I gotta help. Please. Like Shlomo HaMelech. As the Midrash tells about Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech got richness and wisdom. Why? Because he asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please give me wisdom to be able to handle your people appropriately. HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only gave him wisdom, also gave him richness. Ask yourself those questions. Rabotai, we just finished Rosh Chodesh. 3 months from now, we have Rosh Hashanah. 3 months from now, Rosh Hashanah. We don't have time. You need to come to Rosh Hashanah as close as you can. This is the time that if you didn't pull your arrow from your shaft, you're probably not going to have time at the end because the bear is coming. You need to be able to pull it in order to let the arrow fly. And when the arrow hits the wood in with great velocity, how much you want to, you are the arrow. You are the arrow and your attitude is the bow. How much you want to attach yourself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu would be determined if you even only start now. So start examining yourself now. Learn to give from yourself to others. See what you could do for others. How could you contribute to others? How can you help others? Make yourself understand that people's time is more important than your time. Don't let people wait. If you make an appointment with somebody at, let's say, 4 o'clock, see him at 4 o'clock. Don't quadruple your date, your appointments, and see him 45 minutes later and give him 5 minutes of your time. That's not good. Why? Because you feel you're entitled to. Make your case to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make a case where you deserve another year, and you deserve more than you really deserve. It will give you more than you deserve. Make this case. Examine yourself. Do cheshbon nefesh. It's hot outside. I don't want to tell you about how hot it is in Gehenna, but it's hot outside. You could sit in an AC room. Don't run outside. Sit in the AC room. Of course, if you're going on an Indian Scout on the Rockies, that's a different case. None of you are going to do that. So use this time to really start doing a major cheshbon nefesh about where you're holding and what camp you belong to. I'm going, Be'ezrat Hashem, to visit my mother. I haven't seen my mother in a year now, so next week we're not going to have a shiur by me. You're going to have it probably by Yoshua or Ari. I expect all of you to be here and to continue to support the yeshiva with all your efforts, both in the morning and in the afternoons and at night as well. Please make sure you come to daven and help the minyanim every day and on Shabbat as well. This is your job. This is your opportunity to give. If you want to learn how to give, it starts here. Have a Shabbat Shalom. Have a cool summer and a very spiritual one.